Hi, this is Anna Imagination of the Healing Garden, and welcome to Shifting Perspectives. This is, if you are new to my night, I'm getting tired. If you are new to my channel, I am a philosopher, psychologist, sociologist of 30 years, and I am looking up the Lighthouse of Alexandria, which I've looked at like 18 billion times. We know what it looks like because it was described in several pieces of literature. And I just noticed, and I've noticed this before, but I've just noticed it. It's a rectangle. And it's a hexagon. And then it's a cylinder. And I just realized it's literally, how do I explain this? It's geometry. The lighthouse is geometry. I know that's archaeology. I know that's architecture. But I mean, it's geography. Like it's all the geometry. It reminds me of a square. I almost can justify how that is like interesting. Like if you were to look at it from the top down, it would look like the Harry Potter Deathly Hallows symbol. It's fascinating. Ptolemy the second is the one who built it. Wow. They built over it. A sultan built over it in the 1400s. Wow. That is okay. I studied so much in Alexandria for so long. So long. The lighthouse was erected after Alexander the Great died. The first Ptolemy declared himself king in 305 BC and commissioned its construction shortly thereafter. It took 12 years to complete, 800 talents of silver. Limestone and granite. I can't remember who was on top of it. At the very top of the lighthouse, there is, I think it's Zeus, maybe it's Apollo. And I'm trying to figure that out. That's why I'm on here now. Origin, construction, height, and description. Here we go, description. Oh, Triton. Nope, Triton was on each of the four corners. There you go. Either Poseidon or Zeus was at the top. That's who it was. Poseidon or Zeus. Yeah. Wow, they found, so it was on the coinage. Wow. The Lighthouse of Pharaohs was actually on their coins. For a very long time, I saw a lighthouse as being the primary logo for my business. And it has been, it still is on my mind a lot. but I have yet to find a photo of a lighthouse that that hits me just right. I have yet to find a decent one that looks half. Maybe I'll try again because it's a real precise. Whenever you do anything with lighthouses, the emphasis is always on a lot of other things, and it's not really on. It's on the ocean, and the ocean is really not the point. It's been very difficult to try and find the exact the right look, and it's yeah, it's just been very difficult. So I might have to just hire a professional artist because I am not getting the look I want with this. The idea of any emotional balance is finding that nice center place. That way, when your emotions ebb and flow, they will move like this instead of like this. And when you are traumatized, when you're mentally ill, when you're anything, your emotions move like this. But once you learn to live in the neutral zone, they move like this. And I'm off calibration. I know that. I can feel it. So that I'm doing this so that the lows are a lot lower than they should be. And the highs are, I need to shift it. I need to recalibrate. I can feel that. And a recalibration is basically, let's give you the formula. It's the I of I. How do you do a mathematical comparison symbol in math? How do I know there isn't? Oh, I did not know that that was comparison numbers. Oh, all right. So there we go. So compared to, so the I of I realigned to the U of I. And that's it. The I of I compared to the U of I is one calibration. Point. The point is the calibration. Oh, the tension needs to pull from all three. Because if not, then you're, so I might, you need 3 to calibrate. You need 3 points to calibrate. That's why my calibration's been off. That's why I have to keep redefining it. This is why you need 3. This is why you need 3. Is because when you set a calibration to 2, that's not giving you depth. So you're not, okay. This is what I mean. There is more substantial evidence to prove that we live 2-dimensionally when we're 3 dimensions. And this is really starting to annoy me because the math is off on so many levels. So let's start with this. We think binary. We think very much 2-dimensional. We really do, which is why we polarize either or, because we think 2 dimensions, either or. We think male, female, gender, a couple, because we're binary. Because we live in the 2 dimensions. When we look at each other via perspective, we are looking eye to eye because we're not thinking of the third perspective because we are 2 dimensions. If one more person tells me that we are in the 3rd dimension moving to the 4th, I'm going to slap them like, really? You think we're in the 3rd dimension? You really think we're in the 3rd dimension? When we are only contemplating 2 genders when there are 3 at least. When we are only contemplating either or polarized positions in life, and you think we're in the 3rd dimension when you can't even think in 3s, get back down. No, you don't. We are in the 2 dimensions because you can only think in 2s. So your whole world is shaped around twos, but we're screaming to go on to the third dimension where everything is in threes, but no one's willing to go there. A lot of people are willing to go there, but the twos are resisting. And I'm sitting here going, look, the third dimension, it calls. Sorry, but there's three genders. There are 3 points. There are 3 balances. Is why it's a triad. It has to be 3, which is why it's God's favorite number. But here's everybody else going, no, it's 2, it's 2. Oh, but we're going into the 4th dimension. Arrogant little prick. No, you are not. We are 2 dimensions. Now, let's fix the math because this is driving me crazy. In order to be balanced, you have a line, 2 dimension. The line is point here and point here. Now, that might tell you distance, but it doesn't tell you depth. You need a 3rd dimension for that. You need a 3rd point for that. So it's not you in life versus your partner. 2 dimensions? No, it's you versus your partners and your community. You and your partner and your community. And these 3 things together pull so that you know where you are in that center. That is your calibration. That's where you stand. If we were 1 dimension, then everything would be 1 and everything would be on point. On point. Look for the point. Everything would be point. You don't need anyone else. And actually, that's what we're doing, is we're not going towards the 4th dimension. We're in the 2nd dimension, and we're degrading down to the 1st dimension because everyone's focused on 1, being a oneist, making sure they're first. It's every man for himself. That's why I say we're oneists. We're living in the 2 dimension, and we're moving and de-evolving back to a oneist. I'm living in the 2nd dimension going, nope, everything is 3. Sorry, guys, but everything is 3. There are 3 genders. There are 3 partners. There are 3 pieces. Everything is triangle. Sorry, guys. We are in the 2nd dimension, and we need to move to the 3rd. But everyone's wanting to go back over to the 1st dimension where everything is on point, where you are alone, and there is only 1. And everyone is competing with everybody else because you are either the hierarchy, the 1, the winner, and then there's everybody else you stand on. And that is the way the system is running right now. The flip side of all of that is that binary attitude. If it's either or, you're either a man or a woman. And that really cancels out the rest of the world. And I'm sitting here going, people, 3 dimensions. There's 3 points. There's 3 references. There are 3 names here. And you guys are all thinking you're in the 3rd dimension, moving on to the 4th. You are not as evolved as you think you are. Bottom line, you are not as evolved as you think you are. Technically, this is all absolutely a passing of stage growth. So a dimension is really a point in your life, an understanding of your life. So one person could be in the 3rd dimension while everyone else is in the 1st dimension. Now, once you understand that time is actually something that moves through you based on gravity and you don't move anywhere, then you have this sudden, reverse that. It's you who moves through time and not time who moves through you. So once you realize that, that is amazing. It changes the world. So when you realize that you are on the outside of time, you suddenly realize that that is the 4th dimension. But you have to accept the fact that you are on the outside of time. But in order to do that, you must understand that there are 3 points. Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. But you can't accept that there are 3 points if you can't even get over the fact that it's an either or, avoidant extreme, indulge, abundance, scarcity, abundance. And it's like, what are you doing? If you want to manifest, why are you going the other extreme into abundance? It's not an abundance mindset. Sorry, not sorry. It's called harmony and neutral. Why are you going another extreme? You have missed the point because you're not ready for the lesson. A lot of people do that. They're not ready for the lesson and they jump ahead trying to get a lesson that they're not ready for. And as a result, they are misinterpreting it and butchering the knowledge. And then when it doesn't work, they become hostile, angry, and this morphed thing appears. And suddenly everyone's copying a morphed thing that no one actually understands because it's based off of the botched comprehension of someone else who had a botched comprehension of something else. This is why it's important that you learn. So you can recognize the botched garbage from the real shit. So, I'm done with that rant. All right. So there's alone time. There's community time. God, I hate my drops. It's part of the, it's just part of the lesson learned. I'm completely rebranding and working on my marketing today. I have decided that Fridays are a different kind of a day for me. I don't think I'm ever going to book anything on a Friday ever again. I think I prefer having my Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays completely open. Every time I try and do anything else outside of that, it doesn't go well. All right. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.